The one who proposed this strategy was Sun Zi, a high minister of Wei. After hearing the plan, Cao Rui asked him, "What solution do you suggest?" Sun Zi replied, "When Emperor Cao Cao campaigned against Zhonglu years ago, victory only came after great hardship. He once told his officials, Hanzhong is like a natural prison. Especially around Xie Valley, the roads are filled with caves and dangerous mountain paths for hundreds of miles. It is no place for a massive army to operate safely. If we now commit all of Wei's strength to attacking Shu, Eastern Wu will certainly strike us from the south. In my opinion, it would be wiser to hold the key passes with our current forces and allow the army to recover. In a few years, Wei will grow even stronger, while Wu and Shu will gradually weaken each other. At that point, victory will be far easier." Cao Rui then asked Sima Yi for his opinion. Sima Yi agreed completely with Sun Zi's advice. Thus, Cao Rui ordered the generals to guard the strategic passes. Guo Huai and Zhang He were left to defend Chang'an, while Cao Rui rewarded the ministers and returned to Luoyang. Meanwhile, after Zhuge Liang withdrew back to Hanzhong, he immediately reviewed the surviving forces. He noticed only Zhao Yin and Deng Zhi's army had not yet returned. Fearing the worst, he quickly ordered Guan Xing and Zhang Bao to ride out and search for them. Just as the two prepared to depart, news arrived that Zhao Yin and Deng Zhi had already returned safely. Not only had they lost no soldiers, but they had also brought back all supplies and baggage intact. Zhuge Liang was overjoyed and personally went out of camp to welcome them. The moment Zhao Yin saw him, he dismounted and knelt. "I am a defeated general. How could I deserve the prime minister himself coming to greet me?" Zhuge Liang hurried forward, helped Zhao Yin up, and sighed deeply. "It was my poor judgment in command that caused this disaster. Every army suffered losses except yours. How did you manage this?" Deng Zhi answered beside him, "I withdrew first while General Zhao Yin personally covered the rear. He fought fiercely the entire way, terrifying the Wei forces. Because of him, we retreated safely without losing even our supplies." Zhuge Liang praised him greatly. Truly a great general unmatched under heaven. He immediately rewarded Zhao Yin with 50 jin of gold and granted 10,000 bolts of silk to his soldiers. But Zhao Yin refused the rewards. This campaign ended in defeat. None of us accomplished merit. If we accept rewards now, rewards and punishments will lose meaning. Store these supplies away for now. In winter, they can be distributed fairly among the army." Hearing this, Zhuge Liang sighed emotionally. "The late Emperor Liu Bei often praised your virtue. Now I finally understand why." From that moment on, Zhuge Liang respected Zhao Yin even more deeply. Soon after, Ma Su, Wang Ping, Wei Yan, and Gao Xiang also returned to camp. Zhuge Liang first summoned Wang Ping and questioned him. "I ordered you and Ma Su to defend Jieting together. Why did you fail to stop him and allow such a defeat?" Wang Ping quickly explained. "I repeatedly advised him to fortify the main road, but Ma Su refused to listen and even became angry. So I established my own camp 10 miles away with 5,000 soldiers. Later, the Wei army surrounded the mountain. I tried many times to break through and rescue them, but failed every time. The next day, the mountain defenses completely collapsed. Countless soldiers surrendered. Unable to hold alone, I sought help from Wei Yan. On the way, Wei forces trapped me in a valley. I fought desperately to escape. By the time I returned, my original camp had already fallen. Later, near Lulu City, I encountered Gao Xiang. We divided into 3 forces and attacked the Wei camp, hoping to retake Jieting. But we discovered there were no Shu ambushes nearby at all, which made us suspicious. After climbing to higher ground, I realized Wei Yan and Gao Xiang had also been surrounded. I immediately charged into the encirclement and rescued them. Afterward, fearing Yangping Pass would fall, I hurried back to defend it. I truly did try to advise Ma Su. If the Prime Minister doubts me, the other generals can testify. After hearing this, Zhuge Liang dismissed Wang Ping. He then ordered Ma Su brought into the tent. Ma Su had already tied himself up and knelt before the command tent awaiting punishment. Zhuge Liang's expression darkened as he shouted angrily, "You studied military strategy since childhood. I warned you repeatedly that Jieting was the lifeline of our entire campaign. You even swore your family's lives to guarantee success. Had you listened to Wang Ping's advice, how could this disaster have happened? The defeat, the loss of soldiers, the collapse of the campaign, all are your responsibility. If I do not punish you according to military law, how can I command the army?" Then Zhuge Liang added, "After your death, your family will continue receiving salaries and provisions. You need not worry." He immediately ordered the guards to drag Ma Su outside for execution. Ma Su wept bitterly. "The Prime Minister treated me like a son, and I regarded him as a father. I know my crimes cannot be forgiven. I only hope you remember how Emperor Shun executed Gun, but still employed you the great afterward. Even in death, I hold no resentment." Tears streamed down Zhuge Liang's face as he replied, "You and I were like brothers. Your children will be treated as my own. Say no more." As Ma Su was escorted outside the camp gate for execution, Jiang Wan happened to arrive from Chengdu. Seeing the soldiers preparing to execute Ma Su, he rushed into the tent in shock. When Chu executed De Chun, the Duke Wan of Jin rejoiced. "But today, before our great cause is complete, are we truly going to kill such a talented strategist? What a terrible loss." Zhuge Liang answered tearfully, "Sun Wu conquered the world because his military laws were strict. Now the chaos of war has only begun. If military law is abandoned, how can we defeat our enemies? Ma Su must die according to the law." Not long later, the soldiers presented Ma Su's severed head. Seeing it, Zhuge Liang broke down crying loudly. Jiang Wan asked in confusion, "If Ma Su broke the law and received punishment, why does the Prime Minister grieve so deeply?" Zhuge Liang replied through tears, "I do not weep for Ma Su alone. I remember the late Emperor Liu Bei warning me at Beidisheng. Ma Su talks bigger than his abilities. He must never be heavily trusted. Now his words have proven true. I grieve because I failed to judge men correctly, and because I miss the wisdom of the late emperor even more." Everyone in the command tent was moved to tears. Ma Su died at only 39 years old. It was the 5th month of the 6th year of Jianxing in Shuhan. Later generations composed a poem. At Jieting, his crime could not be escaped. Empty theories ruined the army whole. Before the camp he died to uphold the law, while tears still fell for the late emperor's soul. After executing Ma Su, Zhuge Liang ordered his head displayed throughout the camps to reinforce military discipline. Later, he ordered Ma Su's body carefully buried, and even personally wrote a memorial tribute for him. He also continued supporting Ma Su's family with monthly provisions. Afterward, Zhuge Liang submitted a memorial to Emperor Liu Shan requesting that he be demoted. When Jiang Wan returned to Chengdu, he presented the memorial to the emperor. In it, Zhuge Liang blamed himself. "My talent is mediocre, yet I carry the burden of the nation. The loss at Jieting and the defeat at Jigu Valley were entirely due to my poor judgment and mistakes in selecting commanders. According to the principles of justice, I cannot escape responsibility. I request to be demoted 3 ranks as punishment." After reading it, Liu Shan said, "Victory and defeat are common in war. Why must the prime minister blame himself so harshly?" But Fei Yi advised, "To govern a state, laws must be respected. If even the prime minister ignores them, how can the people obey?" Thus Liu Shan approved the demotion. Officially, Zhuge Liang was reduced to the rank of right general, though in reality he still retained command of the army and continued carrying out the duties of prime minister. Fei Yi personally traveled to Hanzhong to deliver the imperial decree. After receiving it, Fei Yi tried comforting Zhuge Liang. "The people of Shu are still joyful because you successfully captured 4 commanderies before." But Zhuge Liang's face immediately darkened. To gain and then lose is no different from never gaining at all. If you congratulate me for such things, it only deepens my shame. Fei Yi then said, "I heard Your Excellency gained Jiangwei, and His Majesty was very pleased." Zhuge Liang answered seriously, "Our army returned defeated without taking even an inch of land. That is my greatest failure. Even if we gained 1 Jiangwei, how much damage did we truly inflict upon Wei?" Fei Yi then asked, "You still command hundreds of thousands of troops. Will you launch another northern campaign?" Zhuge Liang replied, "At Qishan and Jigu Valley, our army actually outnumbered Wei, yet we still lost. The problem was never troop numbers, it was leadership. From now on, I will reduce excess troops, reorganize the generals, enforce rewards and punishments strictly, and carefully reflect upon our failures. If we do not correct our mistakes, larger armies are meaningless. From now on, anyone who sincerely serves the state should openly point out my flaws and errors. If we can do this, the great cause of the nation will succeed, and Wei can eventually be destroyed." Fei Yi and the generals admired him greatly after hearing these words. From then on, Zhuge Liang continued training troops in Hanzhong, caring for soldiers and civilians, building siege and river crossing equipment, and stockpiling grain in preparation for another northern expedition. On Wei's side, reports soon arrived that Shu was rebuilding its military strength. Qiao Rui summoned Sima Yi to discuss the situation. Sima Yi said, "Now is not the time to attack Shu. The summer heat is intense, and Shu will not easily march out. If we invade deeply into Shu territory, they only need to defend the mountain passes, and our army will struggle to advance." Qiao Rui asked, "Then what if Zhuge Liang attacks again?" Sima Yi answered, "I have already predicted that Zhuge Liang will imitate Han Xian's strategy of secretly crossing through Chensang. If we station a capable defensive general there, we will have nothing to fear." Qiao Rui immediately asked who that person should be. Sima Yi replied, "Hao Zhao of Taiyuan, courtesy name Bodeo. He is 9 chi tall, skilled in archery, and highly intelligent. If Zhuge Liang attacks, Hao Zhao is the ideal defender." Qiao Rui was delighted and immediately appointed Hao Zhao as general who pacifies the West, assigning him to defend Chensang. At that moment, another major report arrived. Qiao Xiu, stationed in Yang Province, submitted a memorial claiming that Zhou Fang, the governor of Poyang from eastern Wu, wished to surrender. Zhou Fang had also secretly offered 7 strategies, arguing that this was the perfect opportunity to attack Wu. After reviewing the memorial, Sima Yi believed the proposal seemed reasonable and offered to support Qiao Xiu with additional forces. However, General Jia Kui opposed the plan. "The people of Wu are unpredictable and cannot be trusted. Zhou Fang is an intelligent man. He would never surrender so easily. This is likely a trap." Sima Yi answered, "Caution is necessary. But opportunities should not be ignored either. In the end, Cao Rui ordered Cao Xiu to lead the main attack while Jia Kui and Sima Yi advanced separately to support him. Thus, the three Wei armies marched south. Meanwhile, Eastern Wu had already learned that Wei was preparing to invade. In truth, Zhou Fang's surrender was completely fake, designed to lure Cao Xiu deep into Wu territory. When Sun Quan gathered his ministers to discuss strategy, Guyong recommended Lu Sun as supreme commander. Sun Quan gladly accepted and appointed Lu Sun as grand commander, granting him full military authority. He even personally held Lu Sun's horsewhip during his departure, showing extraordinary trust. Lu Sun then recommended Zhu Huan and Quan Song as left and right commanders. Leading more than 700,000 troops according to the novel, the Wu army advanced in 3 divisions. Zhu Huan suggested, Cao Xiu is not truly a brilliant commander. Since he completely trusts Zhou Fang, he will certainly march deep into dangerous terrain. After suffering defeat, he will likely flee through Jiasha Road or Guiche Road. We should block those mountain routes first. Then we may capture Cao Xiu alive and even threaten Wei territory directly. But Lu Sun replied, I have an even better strategy. He ordered Zhuge Jin and others to defend Jiangling against Sima Yi. Meanwhile, Cao Xiu arrived at Wan City. Zhou Fang personally welcomed him and repeatedly demonstrated loyalty. When Cao Xiu mentioned rumors that Zhou Fang's surrender might be false, Zhou Fang suddenly drew his sword and attempted suicide to prove his sincerity. Cao Xiu hurriedly stopped him. Zhou Fang then cut off his own hair and threw it to the ground, shouting, I truly surrender. If I am still doubted, then I may as well die. Seeing this dramatic display, Cao Xiu fully trusted him. Soon afterward, Jia Kui once again warned, Zhou Fang cutting his hair appears loyal, but it may simply be deception. Commander, you must not advance recklessly. But Cao Xiu grew furious instead. Are you trying to steal my achievements? He nearly had Jia Kui executed. Although he spared Jia Kui's life in the end, he stripped him of military authority. When Zhou Fang heard this, he secretly rejoiced and immediately informed Lu Sun. Cao Xiu has completely fallen into the trap. After receiving the message, Lu Sun ordered Su Sheng to prepare an ambush at Jieting. Meanwhile, Cao Xiu followed Zhou Fang directly into the region. The next day, scouts reported large Wu forces blocking the mountain pass ahead. Only then did Cao Xiu realize he had been deceived. Still unwilling to accept defeat, he prepared a counter-ambush. He ordered Zhang Pu and Xue Qiao to each hide 20,000 troops along the northern and southern mountain roads, intending to lure the enemy in and attack from 3 directions. But Lu Sun had already predicted everything. That very night, he sent Zhu Huan and Quan Song with 30,000 soldiers each to launch a surprise fire attack behind the Wei camp. In the darkness, Zhu Huan directly collided with Zhang Pu's hidden force and personally killed Zhang Pu in battle. Quan Song meanwhile crushed Xue Qiao's troops. Suddenly the Wei camps erupted in flames and chaos. Cao Xiu fled in panic as countless Wei soldiers died or scattered, abandoning weapons and armor everywhere. As Cao Xiu escaped into Jiasha Road, Jia Kui suddenly arrived with reinforcements. Ashamed, Cao Xiu admitted, I ignored your advice and suffered this crushing defeat. Jia Kui quickly escorted him away while planting numerous banners throughout the forests to create the illusion of hidden ambushes. When Su Sheng pursued them, he saw the suspicious banners in the mountains and dared not continue the chase. Thus Cao Xiu narrowly escaped with his life. After hearing of Cao Xiu's defeat, Sima Yi also withdrew his army. Lu Sun returned in great triumph. Su Sheng, Zhu Huan, Quan Song, and the other generals brought back enormous spoils of war, including military wagons, cattle, horses, grain, weapons, and tens of thousands of prisoners. Sun Quan personally led the civil and military officials outside the city to welcome Liu Sun home. He even used the imperial carriage canopy to shade him from the sun, granting him the highest honor possible. All participating generals received lavish rewards. Seeing Zhou Fang's disheveled hair after cutting it off, Sun Quan sighed emotionally. "You sacrificed your hair to achieve this great victory. Your name will surely be remembered in history." He then granted Zhou Fang the title of Marquis within the passes and held a grand victory banquet. Seizing the momentum, Liu Sun advised, "Now that Cao Xiu has suffered a major defeat, Wei morale is shaken. We should immediately send word to Zhuge Liang and ask Xu to launch another northern expedition, attacking Wei from both east and west." Sun Quan agreed immediately and dispatched envoys to Xu. Thus, Eastern Wu's brilliant deception succeeded, and Xu's northern campaigns would soon rise again. As for Zhuge Liang's next expedition against Wei, that tale belongs to the next chapter. Summary: this chapter mainly focuses on two major storylines. The first centers on Zhuge Liang's response and self-reflection after the failure of the northern expedition. After the loss of Jieting, Zhuge Liang was heartbroken over Ma Su's mistakes, yet he still insisted on executing him according to military law. This became one of the most famous moments in Romance of the Three Kingdoms, symbolizing the idea that military discipline cannot be abandoned, even for personal feelings. The chapter also highlights Zhuge Liang's leadership style. Rather than shifting blame entirely onto others, he openly admitted his own failures in judgment, voluntarily requested demotion, and emphasized the importance of strict discipline, honest criticism, and organizational reform. These scenes greatly shaped later generations' image of Zhuge Liang as both a compassionate and principled leader. The second major storyline follows Eastern Wu's brilliant deception against Cao Xiu. Zhou Fang pretended to surrender, and even cut off his own hair to convince Cao Xiu of his loyalty. Blinded by ambition and overconfidence, Cao Xiu ignored repeated warnings from Jia Kuei and marched directly into Wu's trap. Liu Sun once again demonstrated his brilliance as a supreme commander. Through deception, ambushes, terrain control, and coordinated night attacks, he crushed the Wei army at the Battle of Jieting. This chapter also lays the groundwork for renewed cooperation between Xu and Wu, foreshadowing Zhuge Liang's future northern expeditions against Wei. Knowledge points. 1. Zhuge Liang weeping while executing Ma Su is one of the most famous scenes in the novel. Historically, Ma Su really was punished after the defeat at Jieting. However, the official records of the Three Kingdoms only says that Ma Su died in prison, which leaves room for debate. Historians are still uncertain whether he was publicly executed as described in the novel, or whether he simply died while imprisoned. 2. The novel portrays Hao Zhao almost like Sima Yi's hidden secret weapon, but this is exaggerated. Historically, Hao Zhao was already a respected frontier general of Wei who had defended the western borders for years. He was not suddenly discovered by Sima Yi. 3. The Battle of Jieting was a real historical battle, but the troop numbers in the novel are hugely exaggerated. The novel claims Liu Sun commanded over 700,000 troops, which would have been nearly impossible during the Three Kingdoms era. In reality, armies of several tens of thousands were already considered massive. 4. In the novel, Cao Xiu is portrayed as arrogant, foolish, and unable to accept advice, making him an easy victim of Zhou Fang's deception. Historically, however, Cao Xiu was an important Cao Wei commander and a trusted member of the imperial clan under Cao Pai. Although he truly suffered a devastating defeat at Jieting, that does not mean he was an incompetent general.